with CAR-T therapy, a revolutionary approach that has already changed the landscape of cancer care. With continued advancements, we will extend its reach to more patients, providing renewed hope for those facing this formidable adversary. Additionally, ACC is also South Asia's first comprehensive training center for cyberknife radiosurgery. This cutting-edge technology enables us to treat complex tumors with unprecedented precision, minimizing damage to healthy tissues. We are dedicated to equipping our healthcare professionals with the knowledge and skills needed to deliver world-class care. Similarly, precision oncology centers represent a significant milestone as these centers prioritize a patient-centric approach, offering individualized treatment plans tailored to each patient's unique genetic and molecular makeup. By making precision medicine accessible to all, we are leveling the playing field and ensuring that every patient has access to the latest advancements in oncology care. On a similar note, Apollo being the first to do so, value-based oncology is our commitment to enhancing patient outcomes and experiences. By optimizing treatment choices and minimizing unnecessary procedures, we aim to control healthcare costs while delivering high-quality care that doesn't burden our patients financially. In addition, the introduction of theranostics is a game changer. It combines diagnosis and therapy in one, offering highly personalized care that is more effective and has fewer side effects than traditional treatments. We are at the forefront of this groundbreaking approach. In closing, our commitment to the future of cancer care is unwavering. Together with innovation, compassion, and a global spirit of collaboration, we will continue to push the boundaries of what is possible in the fight against cancer. The path ahead may be challenging, but it is a path we all walk with purpose, determination, and a deep empathy for those who depend on us. Thank you, and let us move forward with hope and resolve.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harshad. The talk was a talk of hope, a hope for the future and a hope for fights against cancer. Thank you so much, sir. If you will notice, every speaker that's come on this dais, including me, the one thing that we've all spoken about is about our true heroes that are seated in front of the dais. Because coming up next is a moment that we're dedicating to these true heroes. They're not just heroes, but they're indeed superheroes, and I'm sure they're going to capture their hearts, your hearts. So sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves, and let's see what they have in store for us. But in the meantime, may I request you all to please give them a big hand of applause coming right from each person's heart. And to take us to what this special performance is all about, I have with us Dr. Ramya, pediatric oncologist, Apollo Cancer Center, to introduce this performance to you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. बंदे हैं हम उसके, हम पे किसका जोर, उम्मीदों के सूरज निकले चारों ओर, इरादे हैं फौलादी, हिम्मतें हर कदम, अपने हाथों किस्मत लिखने आज चले हैं हम. We are God's own people. The sun of hope shines all around us. We have set out not now to write our destinies with our own hands. This is the spirit that flows through our children, our fighters, our survivors. When adversity strikes, they say, I will never give up and I will try again. Music, please. The legend, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, saying, रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप लगते हैं, नाम है शहनशाह. Presenting Alia, the Shahenshah. Thank you.
Dr. Ramya, I think a hand of applause is not good enough. I'm going to request you all to kindly stand up, sharing some love to these beautiful kids on the dais, teaching us the lesson of human spirit, the lesson of resilience, and the lesson of living life to the fullest. Can I request our dignitaries, which include Dr. Preeta, Mr. Arshad, and our guest of honor, Ms. Priya, to kindly join us on the dais for a photo op session along with the kids. To move one step ahead this evening, we have our patient all the way from Japan, Mr. Yamuchi Naoki, who'd like to come on the dais and share his journey with us this evening. May I request you to please welcome him on stage.
皆様こんばんは。
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
ただいま紹介に預かりました山内です。
I've been introduced by to you, all of you. I'm Yamauchi Naoki from Japan.
現在88歳です。
Now I'm 88 years old.
なお、今、ヌンガンマッカムハイロードで日本料理レストランをダリアという名前で30年間続けてまいりました。
Just as ACC, the Apollo Cancer Center, I've been running the Dahlia Japanese restaurant located in Nungambakam High Road.
2ヶ月前にやっと30年の月日が流れたことを、喜んでいた次第ですが、ある日突然一滴二滴の血がこういうキャンサーに対しての非常に怖い思いをさせられました。
After having a routine checkup at Apollo Hospital, all of a sudden, with just a spot of blood which I found in the motion, I've been diagnosed as cancer patient.
アポロホテルにはいろいろお世話になって、科が違えど数人の先生方とのお付き合いもありましたので、そこへ行ってすぐ、JRS 先生の元へ行って相談を受け、サロージェ先生と相談をし、それのスピードを速めて、直腸がんと申し渡されました。一瞬目の前が真っ暗になり、今までのことが走馬灯のように目の前を走り去りました。
So with just that spot of blood in the motion, I consulted Dr. JRS, who had been my physician for throughout, and he guided me to Dr. Sarojini Parameshwaran. And after all the tests being done, she immediately diagnosed my disease and immediately sent me and requested me to consult Dr. Ajit Pai.
キャンサーというものはこんだけ怖いこととは知らず、私の子供の時にはキャンサーになれば必ず死ぬということで恐れられておりました。
Having born in Japan and having undergone all the World War and the atomic bombings, I had a feeling that cancer is equivalent to death.
目の前が真っ暗になったと同時に、これからの先のことを考えている暇がなくなりました。
So, having heard that I am a cancer patient, my front became black and white, and I could not think anything but to think of my death and my life later.
まあ85歳でがんになった。これからどうする？右へ行っても左へ行っても、もうあとわずかな人生が残っているだけだと自分で自負し、なんとかこれを乗り越えるためにはどうすればいいかということを、ミスター、アジパイ先生に相談に行き、いろんな方面から検討をしていただき、わずか2ヶ月ぐらいの間に手術をすることにしたんです。
At 85, I was consulted with Dr. Ajit Pai, and I underwent the surgery, and in 2 months' time, I was able to get back to work and undertake the next surgery also.
まあ、2ヶ月ほどの間に全てのチェックをし、全てのことをお互いに話し合い、バジ先生のもとに全部、いわゆる12指腸じゃなくしてごめんなさい、大腸を全部全摘する手術になりました。
In a very quick span of time, I was done all the tests, and with the speed and with the faith I had in Dr. Ajit Pai, everything went through successfully.
もうそれで我々家族も、いろいろ相談して、まあ、右に行くか左に行くか、いずれにしろ、まあ、やっていくのが正しいと思い、私はあくまで、まあ、手術の方を取って、先生にお任せすることに今回はしました。
And I'm very thankful for Dr. Ajit Pai and his team for bringing me back to this day to attend and meet all the other patients also and participate in this Rose Day celebrations.
十何時間の時間を、かかって全摘をやってもらい、あと、まあ、残る生きるか死ぬかというところはもう全てをお任せして今日までやってきました。おかげでこの2年間手術してちょうど2年間になります。それで先生に何回も見てもらい、今後の話をしていって、やっとこれなら100歳以上生きられるぐらいのパワーが出てきたということを先生の許可をいただいて、日本へ帰って温泉でも入ってゆっくりしたいなと思って考えている矢先でしたので、こういう皆さんの前で、まあ、先生方の協力、本当に協力の賜物であって、命をもらった以上は、なんとか私も100歳以上は頑張って、今の仕事を続けていきたいと思って頑張っております。どうも、まあ、恥ずかしい話ですが、まあ、今後とも見守っていただくとともに、まあ、キャンサーの方のいろんな問題があるとは思いますが、アポロ病院で頑張ってやっていってください。ありがとうございました。
It's been nearly 2 years. I'm here back again. I once again want to thank Apollo Cancer Centers and Dr. Ajit Pai and his team and all other doctors who have been giving excellent aftercare also. And I wish all the other patients also to live with more courage. And I would like to stay and live longer and healthier till I reach the 100 years. And with all of you present here, I'm making the second trip to Japan next week to enjoy the trip to Japan. Thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your journey with us this evening. And of course, a special thanks to our interpreter for helping us understand that beautiful journey. Well, like I said, this is an evening dedicated to all those of you seated in front of the dais. I'm going to take the opportunity just to meet a few people. And what's your name, ma'am?
Vidya Lakshmi.
Vidya Lakshmi. Can I request you to stand up? Will it be okay? Thank you. Well, the rest of you, please give a big applause to Vidya Lakshmi. I'm going to ask you to do something simple. Very interesting, okay? You have to count the normal 1, 2, 3 in 2 languages. One language is English. Second language is
Tamil.
Tamil, okay? So it will go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can keep counting till you get stuck. But if you repeat a number twice or language twice, you will be out.
that we celebrate the spirit, the will, and everything a true fighter has. So I'm going to start off this evening by requesting you all to kindly give your... For some reason I'm beginning to feel that I think the applause has to be a little more louder because we are celebrating two heroes for here. To begin with, Dr. Puthiya Reddy, Executive Vice Person, Apollo Hospital Enterprise Limited, Director, Group Oncology and International Apollo Hospitals, and our lovely and beautiful chief guest this evening, lovely, compassionate doctors who are present out here without whom these histories would never be possible. So can we have a big applause for our doctors? Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for our true heroes, our patients who are present out here.
To welcome you all here in the gathering. Personally, I would like to welcome the Vice Chair of International Oncology and Priya Bhavani Shankar, the well-known actress, and Sheila Keithan, the CEO. All of us do know that World Rose Day represents the September 22nd, which kind of started in Canada. That gives us some idea as to what the cancer patients go through, what their loved ones go through. India, if you really look at it, in the 90s, we didn't have that much of innovation or treatment for cancer. Apollo Group kind of started, the new cutting-edge technology started out mostly from Apollo Group and in Chennai, and that has made all of us, our chairman, we were able to get through the newest technologies that are available in the world. And I thank all the patients who are here, all the colleagues and all the hospital staff and the management who have helped us to reach the goal, and hopefully one day we can beat the cancer completely.
Oncologist, Apollo Cancer Center, Chennai, who's going to be moderating this session for us. And of course, he's going to take you on a very interesting journey with the lives of these patients. So, one more time, may I request you for a round of applause for all our panelists seated on the dais, and of course, for Doctor, who's the moderator for the session. Over to you, Doc.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. We've got 6 quite accomplished individuals here, and I want to call them individuals and not patients just for the next 15 minutes or so. We've been asked to conduct this panel session. We've got these individuals from different walks of life, highly accomplished. I looked at the introduction and I thought, well, if I introduce them, that's going to take more than 15 minutes of my time. So I've taken the liberty of just trimming it. As healthcare professionals, we are so fixated on the diagnosis and cutting-edge treatment and all of that we sometimes forget how it is to be like on the other side of the consultation desk. And that's what we want to do now today, to try and understand what these people go through during their cancer journey. So I'll introduce my guests today. The first is Mrs. Ashrafi Bhagat. If you just want to raise your hand. Mrs. Ashrafi is a retired head of the Department of Fine Arts at Stella Maris College. She's also an author, an art historian, and a critic as well. And then we've got Mr. Narendra Paul Singh, who is a retired Director General of Police, retired Professor of Political Sciences, and also a very avid reader. So between catching criminals and teaching students, I think he's had some time to read too. We've got Mrs. Tehzeeb Katari. She comes from a background of fabric, fashion and design. She has a passion for theatre and poetry. I've attended one of her plays recently, and I must tell you, I've not laughed so much for a long time. We've then got Mrs. Minnie Menon, who is also an entrepreneur in the jewelry side of things. She's also very passionate about creating brands, and she's been involved with a lot of high-profile Australian cricketers for their brand endorsements. She's also a columnist and has over 300 columns to her name. Mr. Shantaram is the next one. He's a retired pilot and lives with all the fantastic memories from the sky. And the last but not the least is Mr. Devnath, who runs a very busy floor tile making company. He's also quite passionate about his music. He plays the bass guitar for a band. So what I'll do now is I'll just ask a question to each of the panelists, just so we can understand how life was when they were going through the treatment. So the first question for you, Mrs. Ashrafi. What did it feel like and what went through your mind when you were told that you had cancer? What was your reaction?
Good evening, everyone. Well, that's a very painful memory to begin with. I went through actually 2 surgeries back to back. The first surgery, I was told that it's not a tumor in my breast, but rather it's ductile infection, and that I would have to go through a surgery and that's it. But then after the surgery was over, they sent it for test, though I went through the surgery after all the tests, and which says that, there is no malignancy at all. But after this first operation, when they did the test, I was told that there is a very slight malignancy. For a moment, I didn't know what it was or what I was going through, as a matter of fact. Then it flashed through my mind that this was the fear actually I was living through from my teens. And I had that fear in me that what if it strikes me? And well, it did strike me. My oncologist, Dr. Aarti Narayanan, she was very helpful. She was very caring, very concerned. And she told me that now you have 2 options. Either you go through radiation or you go through mastectomy. It was a difficult decision, but I decided on that, and I went through the mastectomy. After that, I don't know, I just went through life. I mean, I didn't have any work on hand because I'm a freelancer also. So that gave me a lot of content that I don't have work, and at the same time I can recover. And most of all, I should say that there was some inner strength within me. Maybe it was my faith which made me go through it, and I was able to go through it. And as a matter of fact, I thank God that I was grateful enough to Him that I was let off very cheaply. Otherwise, because I didn't have to go through neither a radiation nor a chemotherapy nor any of those things. So that way I was very grateful. I kept my sanity. I was very optimistic. But most of all, it was my family which helped me through. They were very, very supportive. And it is, I think, this support of the family which actually helped in a really a large way. And I feel that we always say, oh, be courageous, have strength and have faith in God. But, when it strikes you, you really don't know where you are and you are really lost. But then if you have, I strongly believe that unless there is faith in God, nothing happens. And it was my faith which helped me to get through. So even today, I still say, thank God for whatever you made me go through, whatever I had to go through. And of course, I take this opportunity to thank the Dr. Aarti Narayanan, who actually gave me tremendous strength and support. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my niece who's working there, Maria Raja. It was because of her that I had decided also that I would come to Apollo. And it was she who actually pushed me. She said, you have to come here, you have to go through the process. I was very, very apprehensive. I don't know what fear had struck me, but I was not willing to go through it, and it was she who pushed me to go through it. And of course, last but not the least, my husband, Shabir. It was he who held my hand, who gave me a lot of strength, quietly, very quietly. And that is what, made me go through my entire experience.
Sure,
Thank you.
That is so heartwarming. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you. So, Mr. Narendra Singh, question for you. We've just heard from Mrs. Ashrafi how traumatic this treatment can be. How did you cope with it?
I came to know about that I am a cancer in April 12. When I came to know in the start, there was fear as well as the hope. Fear was of unknown, what will happen. More than me, the fear was what will happen to my family, my children, my wife. When hope was there, when we consulted number of the persons, they told that Apollo is the best place where you can get the treatment. Then we come to the Apollo, and my doctor was Dr. Jose, and my doctor, Dr. Jose, and after meeting him 1 or 2 times, we are having complete faith in him. I am having a faith in Almighty God, but then God don't come here to treat you. He has to treat you through some human beings. In that way, I take that the doctors also are the representatives of the God, which treat the persons who pray to the God. I felt that I am in a safe hand. Then in 14, I undergone the chemo, then maintenance chemo. Then after some new medicine came, so I was taking those medicines. Then in 20, I was clear of the cancer. Then after 5-6 months, they detected a different cancer in a portion of the body. Then I undergone the surgery, that has been cleared. I was quite happy that I have come out of the cancer, but then I was out of the country for 4 or 5 months. When I came out 2 months earlier, after test we say the cancer has relapsed. But this time I did not have any fear. I was having the hope that Dr. Jose, who has treated me, he is the best person and I am completely safe in his hands. Now I am under treatment. I think in the last 1 month I can see a lot of the difference in my health. I hope that in the next 2 months my life will be again normal. Doctors are the core of any hospital, and in the Apollo hospital we all having the trust and confidence, because Apollo is having the best doctors in the world. And in that way, in the start there was fear and hope, but this time there is no fear. It is only hope only, because I am getting the treatment from the Apollo hospital and I am getting the treatment from the Dr. Jose. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Narendra. A round of applause for him, please. So, Mrs. Katari, I know you're a full of life person. How do you see life now that you've gone through your cancer treatment journey? How do you see life now compared to how you saw it before you were diagnosed with cancer?
I don't think I actually thought about life or what it was like before. During chemo, I felt, well, it was a strange thing. It was awful first thing in the morning to see my face in the mirror and think, who's that? Because I didn't have any hair. And, well, there were several things. But I wondered what life was going to be like after, because I had no energy. It was just very strange. But I have to say that without too much effort, of course, I have my family to thank, my husband and my children, and my doctors. And suddenly I found my strength was back, my energy was back, my interests were back. And today I don't think about it. I try not to, because they keep saying it comes back, but I don't know if it does. But I did lose my mother to cancer many, many years ago. So I did have a time when I wondered, was this the end? But I have to say that with great thanks to everyone, to the hospital, to the doctors that I was with, and as I said, to my family, I am well again. And I can pursue my interests again, and I really feel okay.
Fantastic. That is so nice to hear. Thank you. So, Mrs. Minnie, you next. I know you've recently been through your treatment, and credit to your doctors, you don't look like you've been through treatment recently. Did you at any point since your diagnosis think, this is it, I'm going to not make it?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Doctor, to answer your question, no, not for a moment did I believe or have any doubt that I had gone to the wrong hospital or should I get a second opinion. Because right from day one, when I walked into Apollo, I felt I'd come to the right place and I was in safe hands. I just want to look at the rear view mirror and go back to June 10th. Accidentally, late at night, I happened to discover a lump in my left breast. I shared this with my husband, and he said I should go immediately to Apollo ACE, which is down the road, and get it checked with my BP. With my GP, not my BP. And that's what I did. And the mammogram showed a small suspicious lump. So immediately thereafter, a biopsy was done. And it was almost as though I was like Carl Lewis. You mentioned I like sports. So I picked up the baton and I just ran. I ran and did all the checkups that were prescribed to me. We are talking about June 17th, when it was discovered that I was malignant with cancer, and July 17th, and July 26th was the date of my surgery. So all the checkups were done, the PET scans, everything possible. And yes, I decided that there's no time to think. There's no question of a second opinion. Why should I take it? Because my doctors, who I met, all three of them, I knew I was in the best possible hands. I believe I went into my surgery completely calm. I did not tell any of my closest friends, only my very small nuclear family. And in hindsight, I think that was a good thing. One of my doctors at Apollo said, don't go on to online and check about this ailment. So I didn't. I did not check anything at all. My operation, they did the biopsy, and when the biopsy was found malignant, they said it has been detected extremely early and it was diagnosed as first stage lumpectomy. So that was, I thank God, because it meant that it was just scooping out the lump. But after that, a standard operating procedure when you do this kind of a surgery is to check the lymph nodes to see if the malignancy had spread. And the labs were kept open that morning to ensure that a biopsy could be done on the lymph nodes. And sure enough, 2 of them were found malignant. Anyway, long story short, my remaining 17 lymph nodes were scooped out and I was wheeled out. What I appreciated about all the specialist doctors at Apollo who tended to me was they said it as it was. So I was told to expect pain, and therefore pain management was my top priority. And having said that, I went through 2 weeks of medication, and then a doctor here, my Dr. Sankar, said I should go cold turkey on my painkiller. And when I'm in a hospital, I always do what I'm told. So I just stopped taking that Zerodol, and somehow the pain seemed to disappear. Having said that, my radiation pattern was exactly as my Dr. Sanjay predicted it to be. It finished on Friday, and I'm here to talk to you all and share my experiences and say cancer's history. Cancer visited me, but cancer did not survive. I thrived. There's a common saying like that. The other story that I have is that the emperor of all maladies, he made an unforeseen visit, but the Apollo doctors and I showed him the door. Happy 30th anniversary, Apollo. Thank you for my new lease in life.
That is absolutely wonderful, Mrs. Millie. You talked about running. I can see you're out of the finish line and you look as fresh as ever. Well done. Mr. Shantaram, we've heard how difficult a journey it is for the patients who are going through their treatment. How did your family take all this?
Doc, I don't think it's a very fair question because my wife is not here, and if she was, I'd put her over here, I'd be taking pictures there, and she would answer that question. Anyway, on a more serious note, folks, I'm really not going to the details as far as the disease was concerned, and like the good doctor asked me, I would just like to talk about the role of family in a situation like this. And to put it very simply, before my cancer diagnosis in early 2020, just a few months before that, I was diagnosed with triple vessel heart disease, and we were sort of mulling around getting over that. And suddenly, boom, before you know it, the verdict came from Apollo, localized high-risk cancer. And well, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and so did it as far as my wife was concerned. And as most of you know, my fellow cancer warriors, how the initial moments of the whole deal is. And so anyway, we went back and probably did a little bit of soul searching, introspection, whatever it is, got a little philosophical. And my wife bounced back pretty early, in spite of the fact that this was the second blow in the solar plexus, sort of speaking. And folks, it has been my experience that in a situation like this, the woman is the stronger party. Okay, and it is she who held my hand to begin with and infused what courage I find today. And to put it very simply, she took me by the hand and said, look, you owe me something. You owe your daughter something. You owe your grandson something. And most of all, you owe yourself something. So get up, go out there and fight the damn disease. My apologies for the language. So, and that is exactly, I think, how one should deal with it. And if we are called warriors, we should behave as warriors in a situation like this. And believe you me, it makes even the worst of situations a lot more palatable. So as far as the journey is concerned now, I'm in my 4th year now, and with the blessings of Almighty and all the good doctors out here, I am at least in remission, and I hope it is a durable one. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of family, friends in a situation like this. And you get every possible support, and you get your strength. Like my wife is a very religious person, and she is very pragmatic. So this combination of faith and pragmatism is unbeatable. And finally, I can more or less end up in one more word, if I may, and the word is simply spelled H-O-P-E, hope. It's all about hope. And I say this not only from an emotional point of view, but from a logical point of view, because I have been a pilot all my life. And probably next to God, the only thing I've ever worshipped is logic. And just look at it this way. I come from the pre-computer Stone Age, and I was forced into the internet age. I went in, with great reluctance, and finally mulled my way through it. And today, we are on the cusp of the next stage, which people call AI, artificial intelligence. It just goes above my head. But that is the age we are faced with today. And just look at it from this point of view. Before that, I can just digress for a little bit. A few months ago at a party, I met this young lady. She was in her 20s. And she said, Uncle, sorry?
10 seconds, Ms. Shaffer.
Yes. And she told me, I'm on my way to the UK to do a little bit of research into the effect of metformin on cancer. And to put it in a nutshell, you've got thousands of people out there who are working day and night behind computers in hospitals with the latest of equipment. And I'm sure that for every cancer and for every disease, it's just a matter of time before we find a cure. So all you warriors, hang in there. May the force be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. And the last question for you, Mr. Devnath. Now that you've been through your journey as well and quite successfully, have you got any advice for people who are going through that treatment now?
Good evening. First, I would like to thank 3 people, but for whom I wouldn't be sitting here. Deepak Raghavan, the surgeon, Mohammed Zehran, the oncologist, and the Bhishma Pitama of radiology, Dr. Mahadev. Especially when you're classified as a high-risk patient and these people work around the clock and pull you through, especially during COVID. It's a kind of bad combination, but then, you come good through all this. The first thing I would say is, when the doctor says after the FNAC results come, they tell you, Mr. Devnath, please sit down. You have that sinking feeling in your stomach for about 2 seconds. And then they tell you this is what it is. That is when you don't feel sorry for yourself, saying, why me? The question you ask is, what next? Fortunately, God gives us the strength and the family with the backing. Because this is a disease that you fight in the mind as much as the chemo or the radiation or the oral chemo tablets and things like that. Because you got to be mentally strong. Because if you throw in the towel, nothing is going to work for you. That's the first thing I would say. The second thing is, do your homework, choose your doctors, and have 100% faith in them. This is a classic case of Sharanagati in real life. Have faith. Never, ever waver in that. Because because you're basically dealing with things that you don't know anything about. Forget what you read in Google and all that nonsense. That is one thing that we learned. And fortunately, we had the good fortune, whether it was me or my wife Lakshmi, thanks to Dr. Ramesh, and now Dr. Ramanan and his team. They do a wonderful job. The third thing I would say is never ever compare, because this is something which I've seen. The same patient, the same chemo, they react differently. The same doctors. So never ever compare when you're sitting in the waiting room saying, don't do that, because different people react differently and there are no yardsticks in this disease. And the last thing is, be positive. Come hell or high water. That I found and I find is the biggest edge that you need to beat this. And it's a great thing to be in remission, but all of us, I'm sure, have stopped worrying about whether it's going to come back. Hey man, if I'm crossing the road tomorrow, somebody knocks me down, what the hell? So let's not even think of Thiripi Varuma, Enna Pandrathu, all those things are irrelevant things, don't. The last thing is, this disease teaches you to value time and not take things for granted. You enjoy life better. Every morning when you open the curtains in your bedroom and see clear blue sky and the beautiful trees and the birds, you appreciate it and thank God. You see God in all these things, apart from the doctors who walk around. I don't look at them as doctors. I look at them as guards with a stethoscope around them. Because in industry, what do? We create jobs, X hundred, X thousand jobs, bring out a product, declare dividends. But then these people save life, and man, you can't put a dollar value on that. So we are extremely happy and fortunate to be in the care of Apollo doctors. And like I said, just keep these 5 things in mind, and we can easily beat it. If I can, so can all of you.
Thank you.
Thank
you so
you.
much for saying that. Thank you. So I'll just conclude this session. Sorry, we've overrun quite a bit. I just wanted to tell all 6 of you that you are an inspiration for all of us here. You are every doctor's dream, to actually tell you that you've got cancer and put you through the rigorous treatments and all the challenges that come through along with that for you all and for your families, and yet to come out and sit here beautifully and graciously and cheerfully like nothing has ever been wrong with you. We salute you all. All prayers and wishes from the entire Apollo family for the best of health and all the happiness you deserve. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining us today. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for taking us through that session. And a special thanks to all our panelists for sharing a sneak peek of their journey with us this evening. We now like to welcome our guest of honor to join us on the dais, Priya Bhavani Shankar, more lovingly known as Priya Bhavani, an accomplished actress from the South Indian film industry. Born and brought up in Chennai, it was interesting to know that she started off a career in Infosys, went on to become a news presenter, and then something magical happened and she became a film actress. And I should say she's done pretty well for herself because she won the Best Find for the year 2015, the Best Supporting Actress in the year 2019, the Icon of the Year in 2019, and many more such awards. So ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from Priya herself.
Thank you so much. I think I arrived at the podium well before I was expected. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So when I was just told that I'm expected to address the gathering here, I stand here unprepared. I was not actually ready for this event. The point is, one of my colleagues, he called me and asked me if I would be willing to join some kids who's fighting cancer, to spend some time with them and things like that. I was like, yeah, I'll be happy to do it. So this is something I was not expecting, and I take home so many things from here. This is very, very, very moving, inspiring, and to stand here among such powerful, strong warriors and some really impactful people who are creating changes, who impact people's lives, those wonderful doctors. So I'm very, very honored, and thank you, Dr. Preeta Reddy, for having me here on your special day. And I was a bit skeptical about saying this, but I'm like, why not? So my mother was diagnosed with cancer earlier last year. I'm somebody who believes in energy. So whenever she says her story with somebody or shares her, she has this huge bunch of friends from her SIT college days. She has this really huge ladies gang. So whenever she shares her story with them, I always tell her, why do you add energy to it? Don't add energy. Just let it go. You will be fine. You will be fine. This is what I always tell her. But then hearing all these things, hearing these wonderful people tell their story, it's really, really inspiring, and I really feel we should share our stories more loud to create awareness. As one of the doctors here today told, I think Dr. Preeta Reddy mentioned that cancer, when diagnosed early, is curable. So yes, I'll tell you what, I was able to connect on so many levels with all the stories these wonderful people just shared. So when my mom was diagnosed with cancer and the doctor told, you should, that is, I should have a checkup as well, as I grow old, as I age, or in a very regular basis for this genetic thing. So since then, this thing has been running in my head, like when will it strike? Will it happen to me? All that. But when that happened, the first thing that struck me was, no, I'm not losing my mother for cancer. No, I'm not going to see her like that. I'm not going to see her suffer or lose her life for cancer. Whatever comes and how much ever fight we need to put as a family, I'm going to protect her. And as Sir, the person who spoke, as he said, I started valuing her more, and I can see she started valuing life more than ever. She started celebrating life more, and she's more happy in her remission phase. And yes, I think that's something we need to make more people hear. That it's okay. It's not something not curable. It is not 100% going to take you away. There is 99% hope. There's 99% chance that you'll survive. All you need to do is have hope, faith, fight for it. Just be there. Trust on your doctors. Hope you'll be fine. And one day you'll see through it. You'll see the other side of it. And yes, so I'm very glad I'm here. As another survivor, another warrior, he mentioned, women are more strong in handling these things. I've never seen my mom more strong than that particular phase. I always felt my father is the one who's taking care of my mother. But when she was diagnosed with tumor, I really thought, okay, how will my mom survive this? How will she even bear all the pain and all the procedure, everything? But she stood there so strong, brave, positive. But I saw my father breaking there. He was not able to hold it. And my mom was still supporting and holding the family together. And I think we all came out of it more strong and more close together. I only wish this just gives a little hope in your heart that it's not something that you need to be scared of. Just have hope. And there are so many wonderful doctors that we have in our country, and they are here, all hearts to help you out. All the best. I'm so glad and honored that I would like to extend my thanks and best wishes to the entire Apollo team for having me here. It was lovely being here and to hear all the wonderful stories. I'm taking so much of positive thoughts from you guys today, and I'm kind of emotional. This is something I never told anyone before. So yes, all the best, and just have happiness and have faith, and everything around you is beautiful. Stay happy and healthy. God bless.
Thank you so much, Priya, and I'm going to request you to stay back on stage.
Thank you. You're doing a great job. I wanted to
Thank
say
you.
that.
And I tell you, it takes so much of courage to share stories. And the power of sharing stories is someone finds hope in that. So thank you for sharing your story with us. And to do the honors of honoring our guest of honor, may I request you to please welcome Dr. Puthiya Reddy, Vice Chairperson, to hand over a token of appreciation. Thank you very much, Dr. Puthiya Reddy. And thank you so much, Priya, once again, for joining us and making this evening very special. Well, from the time we started this event, we've heard patients speak about their stories. We heard doctors share a stage with the patients. We had our little tiny tots coming up and showing us how brilliant they could be on stage. But this time, we take one step ahead this evening, because now what we're going to talk about is celebrating life beyond the journey of cancer, beyond the stories of cancer. And I'm sure there's many people out here living their life to the fullest and celebrating it. Like I've spoken about on stage twice, we tend to value life more. And this video is just about that. And this video talks about a beautiful journey of a group of patients going to find themselves in the mountains.
बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटमेंट है, कैसा होगा क्या होगा, क्योंकि आज तक कभी ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं है, देखा भी नहीं है हमने.
We have achieved one feat, that is surviving the cancer, that is a feat also. तो उसके बाद ये पीछे.
This is going to be my first experience totally. So totally no mobiles, no calls, no mails, nothing as such, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Beautiful place, you know, that the Bugyals are one of the things that one must see. It's a carpet of green grass interspersed with beautiful flowers, and many of the flowers are endemic. So man and nature should stay in harmony.
Group exercise where we had to find our own campsites. At this point, we split into the two groups.
And we are here first.
People say that if cancer has happened, your life stops. But I want to show them all that no, I am a cancer survivor. Now I have also trekked.
हो गया दिसंबर तक हो गया
I feel peak to peak is something you made one achievement. Now you never thought that trekking you would go and you would go out and do. This is my second peak.
About 2 years back, I don't think I would have been so sure of whether I would have done this, you know. I just want to conquer that fear, you know. It's there in me, whether I'll be able to do it or not. We had a beautiful exercise where we had to go out and pick a piece of wood that we resonate with.
What normal people are doing, I also did the same. So that created a difference within me, and I became more confident about things that are going to come.
Again, in the future, if you ask me, yes, I want to go back to the old me, to my younger days.
I'm much more confident. I know I can do things which probably I would never have thought. I never had thought I would be able to do something.
सपने में भी हम नहीं सोचे थे कि यहाँ तक आ पाएंगे. यहाँ आकर बस एक बात जानी है कि मुझे जीना है और बहुत जीना है.
Whenever we leave this world, you know, we should do something creative so that the next generation can follow that. And I'm gonna miss you all.
that you all did enjoy that beautiful video, because these are patients who live a normal life following their passion and hobby. Patients and warriors who never let cancer take away the core of who they are as beings. And I'd like to say thank you, Apollo Cancer Center, for making these dreams possible. And one hand of applause for putting this together. Can we have a hand of applause, please? Now, talking about passions and hobbies, the next part of this event is just celebrating those passions and hobbies. We have a few patients who are going to come up on the dais and perform for us. To begin with, we have little Rishika, who's 11 years old, born in Kerala. She loves to sing, dance, and read, and that's exactly one of them she's going to be doing for us. So may I request you to please welcome her on the dais.
Hi all, thank you and good evening. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. So I guess I shouldn't introduce to myself again. So before singing, I would like to thank all the lovely doctors, especially my Raja doctor, Balamurugan doctor and Malvahanan doctor. And I would like to thank all the nurses. I would like to, especially my party, Amadali party. She took really nice care of me, but unfortunately, sorry, I have a big problem with speaking. She's not here with us because she was a little busy with her work. So, and I really want to thank all the floor managers, Kartika ma'am, Rakhi ma'am, Monisha ma'am, Momita ma'am, everybody. And I would like to thank Srividya ma'am for inviting me to this wonderful program. So I'm going to sing a semi-classical song about how everything has its own beauty. Sorry if I make any mistakes, I'm not fluent with the language. Sa 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 ni sa ri sa pa, mama da 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 sa ri pa pa. Sa 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 ni sa ri sa pa, mama da 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 sa ri pa pa. Ga ma da ni sa ni ri sa. அழகே அழகே எதவும் அழகு அன்பின் வெளியில் எல்லாம் அழகே மழை மற்றும் அழகு சுடும் வெயில் கூட ஒரு அழகு மலர் மற்றும் அழகு விழும் இலை கூட ஒரு அழகு புன்னகை வீசிடும் பார்வைகள் அழகு வார்த்தைகள் தீர்கையில் மௌனங்கள் அழகு நன்மைக்கு சொல்லிடும் பொய்களும் அழகு உண்மை அது தாழ்மையாய் அழகு கமத நிசா நிரிசா கமத நிசா கரிசா குயில் இசையது பாடிட ஸ்வரவரிசைகள் தேவையா மயில் நடனங்கள் ஆடிட ஜதியொலிகளும் தேவையா நதி நடந்தே சென்றிட வழி துணைத்தான் தேவையா கடல் அலையது பேசிட மொழி இலக்கணம் தேவையா ஈர்க்கையோடு இருந்தால் உலகம் முழுதும் அழகு கவலையாவும் மறந்தால் இந்த வாழ்க்கை முழுதும் அழகு கமத நிசா நிரிசா அழகே அழகே எதவும் அழகு ஜனு தகதீம் நிரிசனி பக மரிச ஜனு தகதீம் மதனி பக மதனி சதா tajam tajanu takadim madani re sani madani pa taka tajam tajanu taka. அழகே அழகே எதுவும் அழகு அன்பின் வெளியில் எல்லாம் அழகு மழை மற்றும் அழகு சுடும் வெயில் கூட ஒரு அழகு மலர் மற்றும் அழகு விழும் இலை கூட ஒரு அழகு புன்னகை வீசிடும் பார்வைகள் அழகு வார்த்தைகள் தீர்கள் மௌனங்கள் அழகு நன்மைக்கு சொல்லிடும் பொய்களும் அழகு உண்மை அது தாழ்மையாய் அழகு கமகரிசா நிரிசா. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rishika. That was one of the most beautiful songs I've heard in the recent past. Thank you for performing for us. And that takes us to our next performance this evening. Please welcome on stage Guru Srimati Rajeshwari Sundararaman, a passionate dancer, a dedicated teacher, a person who's made a profound contribution to the field of classical dancing. Hers is a story of resilience, determination, and an inspiration as she successfully battled breast cancer and continued her passion for dance and teaching.
Namaskaram, Sadgurubhyo Namaha. It's a great privilege and honor to be here as a winner. Yes, I'm here to celebrate my victory for bravely fighting against cancer. An unexpected setback in my life 2 years back when I was detected with breast cancer. I had no other options, I had no thoughts. My family, my children, everybody unanimously decided that we should reach out to Apollo immediately. I think 2 decades back, my mother who was detected with bone cancer, she was detected very late, but she was diagnosed rightly by, I think, the most revered Dr. Ramesh. But unfortunately, we lost her. But this time, with all the support from my family, friends, and my students, I'm here able to express my sincere gratification, love, and support to all the doctors of Apollo Cancer Institute for making this wonderful day possible in my life. In fact, it's my Punarjanmam. It's my second innings. I wanted to give my best shot this time. I'm here back on the stage to perform as a performer nearly after 3 decades. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I thank cancer in a way, because it showed me who am I, what am I? And what is possible? What can I do? What can I give back? And it showed me a way. It ignited my confidence, faith, strength, and I bounced back. And today, the song which I am going to present speaks about Lokamata Janani. It also talks about the Ardhanari Swarupam of Lord Shiva and Shakti. When they are one, creation is possible. And it talks about the greatest Peedam of goddess, that is Shakti Peedam. I think all of us who are the winners here standing and seated before will agree with me if I say the only Shakti Peedam is Apollo Cancer Institute, and it's given us a lot of strength, hope and positivity. Without further delay, I'm here to present a small number. Please bear with me, I'm doing it after a very long time. Thank you ma'am, thank you Preeta ma'am for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you Dr. Ramanan sir for all the energy and positive things you have installed in me. And thanks to Rekha ma'am for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and we're looking forward to your performance this evening. Thank you very much, Rajeshwari ma'am, for that brilliant performance. I'm hoping that we really enjoyed that performance as much as you enjoyed putting it up for us. Thank you. Well, that takes us to our next performance. Shreya, a 19-year-old beautiful girl studying at MOP College, whose passion is singing, and she aspires to be a professional singer one day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shreya. And I definitely believe you're going to be a professional singer one day. Well, we've almost come to the end of this program. We'd like to call upon a well-wisher come all the way from Bangalore just to share a few words with us this evening.